Hope can be an amazing thing. When you have hope, it gives you strength to overcome any challenge that life can throw at you. But when you're in despair, when you're in darkness, when you're hopeless, even getting out of bed can be such a task that you don't even see the reason in trying. And I know all too well what it's like to be hopeless. At my very worst, when I was in my darkest, I had weighed 112 pounds, lost more than 50% of my body weight. I had pins in every one of my fingers that prevented my hands from permanently curling into useless fists. I couldn't roll over, I couldn't sit up, I couldn't get out of bed, I couldn't lift my legs or bend my elbows, I couldn't even wiggle my toes. At one point, I couldn't even blink. Life was horrible. I was in pain, I was constantly on heavy medications. My favorite thing in the hospital was to go to surgery, because in surgery, I didn't remember anything. It was like recess for me. That's how hopeless I was. And I found when I was in that darkness that my eyes were looking the wrong way. And what I mean by that is my eyes were turned inside and they were searching and examining everything that happened to me, and I didn't like anything I saw. And it was so bad that I didn't even see a point in even trying. I saw a man who used to be the most skilled person at work to someone who is now more helpless than a baby. I saw someone who had seen nothing but the inside in isolation for 5 months, and I was convinced I was never ever going home. I saw someone who used to be the life of the party. I was always making people laugh and putting smiles on their faces. To someone who is now so angry, I didn't even recognize who I was. I saw someone who everyone used to love, to who could possibly want to love me now. And I'm severely scarred. I'm missing a huge chunk of my nose. Both my ears are gone. I have no hair anymore. I look like a monster. Believe me, I saw no hope at all. And I didn't try. Because what was the point of even trying when there was no future for me? It wasn't until 5 months into my stay that my child was born. And when my first child was born, the very next day they brought her into the hospital and they laid her right here in my arm. And as they laid her there, I was even so weak I couldn't even hold her, that they had to raise the railing of the bed up to hold her in place. But as she laid in my arms, she gave me hope that day. And she did it by forcing my eyes to look outside of myself. And when I looked outside of myself, that's when I saw I had my amazing wife coming to see me every single day, wanting nothing more than for me to try. That's when I saw I had this little baby girl whose life I actually changed in her mother's womb. And she needed her mom just as much as she needed her dad. But at that moment, I wasn't even close to a dad. I was a shell of who I was. That's when I saw my parents bringing me food every single day so that I could put on more weight a little bit faster, because the hospital food just wasn't quite doing that. That's when I saw my friends calling my wife up to do things around the house, the stuff I used to do, so that she could be there for me in the hospital visiting me. That's when I saw the hospital staff trying so hard, not only that I could survive another day, but get stronger for the next day. That's when I saw all these people I had fighting for me. And the only person not fighting for me was me. And it was in that moment when my little baby girl forced me to look outside of myself, where I saw all these people I had worth fighting for, people that were fighting for me, that I found hope. That's when I decided I was going to try. Provided I had zero clue what the journey was going to be, and I had no idea what the outcome would be. But I can tell you, putting my best foot forward, fighting to get here, it was worth every bit. Because when I was in that darkness and that despair, I didn't see any positive outcome. And now, 21 years later, being a motivational speaker and having a best-selling book, sending out my YouTube videos, helping people through so many different things, not only helping them stay safe and get home to their families, but overcoming hardship of life. I can honestly say I didn't see this outcome at all, let alone any positive outcome. But through hope, I found an outcome that not only is worth living, but one where I'm extremely proud of who I am. Hope is an amazing thing. And when you're in darkness and despair, and sometimes life does knock us down, the best thing we can do is stop looking inside at the things we don't like that change within our lives and start looking outside at the people we have worth fighting for, and then hold on to them. Use them as strength when you don't have it, and let them help you move forward through the challenge that you just aren't ready to face on your own or at all. And together with their love and their support, I'm sure you can find an outcome where you can find hope as well. I hope you enjoyed the Safety Minute. If you want more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. If you want to bring me out to your workplace where I can share safety messages with your crews or even inspire them, go to spencerspeaks.ca. Until the next Safety Minute, stay safe.